Okay, Anish. So I just wanted to know a few update, like what are the things that you have done in PDF till now in UiPath? What are the things that you have
Not
came
much, not
across?
much. Just open a file. I just know that there's a group extraction and then there is a specific
Okay, that is high level.
extraction.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, got it, got it. Okay, let us explain in a simple way. Before I start with
Yeah.
PDF extraction, my first
Mm-hmm.
perspective today is to understand how to do file handling. How can we go
Okay.
inside a particular folder and how can we
Mm-hmm.
access with all the files according to PDF, according to text, according to
Mm-hmm.
Excel file. Okay, and this
Mm-hmm.
particular sub module will be required when we are
Mm-hmm.
working with Excel, PDF, also with
Mm-hmm.
email. Okay, so before we go
Mm-hmm.
into that, as I am going very specific with PDF, the first step is to check if we are having this activity installed in our system, in our UiPath software or not.
Okay.
That is
Okay.
uipath.pdf.activities. Why? If
Mm-hmm.
I don't install this, so what will
Mm-hmm.
happen? I cannot get these activities. So while I click on PDF,
Mm-hmm.
I'm having
Mm-hmm.
this app integration. Inside app integration, I am having all those uh, activities that is required for particular PDF. Also in app integration, you
Mm-hmm.
can able to find Excel, but for now we'll be
Mm-hmm.
focusing on PDF. Okay, so
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
normally uipath.pdf.activities, if we install in our system, we'll be having this many amount of activities. That is what for a high level I wanted to tell you. So make sure
Mm-hmm.
that your system is having that particular package is installed in your system, uipath.pdf.activities.
Mm-hmm.
Then
Okay.
let us talk about file handling. Okay, so I will be
Mm-hmm.
creating another sequence inside this subsequence so that we can use in a later phase. So always try to rename the sequence according to naming convention, whatever is required, whatever is understandable. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
for now I just want to name it as file handling so that it would be easier for us to understand. Okay, so for
Mm-hmm.
now I am having a folder in my desktop. Okay, in my document folder,
Mm-hmm.
inside my document folder, I will be also sharing some. You can take the random invoices from any of the web page. Like if you can go here, we are having many
Mm-hmm.
uh what to say places you can able to download the free PDFs, free invoice PDFs.
Yeah,
Okay,
there are.
there are. So if you couldn't able to find out, I'll share you some. Okay, so I
Okay.
searched with some random PDF, random invoices in my system when I was practicing.
Mm-hmm.
So I took them.
Okay.
So for now, just to manage
Okay.
it. So I am
Mm-hmm.
having some folder inside this document. I'm having this PDF to text. So this is a UiPath folder. I'll be sharing this file with you after ending of
Mm-hmm.
this class so that if
Mm-hmm.
you can try, you can access this.
Okay.
So inside this, just a minute. So inside this folder, I'm having a subfolder as PDF. I'm having some invoice numbers. So invoices, like
Mm-hmm.
for example, these parts are required. If you are dealing with manufacturing, or if you're dealing with railways, if you're dealing with healthcare, whatever client you deal with. Okay, I will also show
Mm-hmm.
you one of the sample of my client. Like I'm working for a healthcare domain, so whatever the PDF sample they are using, it is not this kind of simple PDF. It is having a lot of
Mm-hmm.
images inside there. It is having some signatures. Sometimes your main motive is to extract all those elements. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so you should be very, if you are successfully extracting these parts properly, then you could say that you are
Mm-hmm.
good in UiPath automation for PDFs. Okay, so whatever
Mm-hmm.
interview also you will be facing, they are not going to ask you anything basic. They're going to ask you how have you done the extraction, what are the struggle that you have faced. So these are the questions that they are
Mm-hmm.
going to ask you. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
for now we will just focus on this clean PDFs. Other than that, we will be focusing on the signature and complicated PDF on our next sessions. So for now,
Mm-hmm.
how I'm going to take this particular folder, there are two ways. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the first way that I'm going to explain you is I'm going to use an assign activity. Okay. I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to, how can I initialize a variable? Can you just tell me, last class I said you, there are two ways. How can
Mm-hmm.
I take a variable name and initialize it? Can you just tell me two ways? What are they?
Yeah, you one of the ways that I mean that you can assign with equal to.
Okay. Another way?
And another way is that you can just put some value in the default.
In where?
In default,
What is
default,
default? What is default?
default. You if you just click the variable, there's a
Yes.
default option coming on.
Yes, you have to say that variable pane, we have to declare it as variable.
Yeah.
So yes. So, but I am using an assign activity which will be easier for us to understand. We can also use
Okay.
a variable here and can increase the scope, but also we can use an assign activity. So for now,
Mm-hmm.
one method which is not very easy to understand, but still it is required. Okay. So when I
Mm-hmm.
initialize it, there is a shortcut key that we can use is Control K. Okay. Control K is a shortcut
Mm-hmm.
key to take a variable name. Okay. So for now, I just
Okay.
want to take the files inside the folder. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I should have a proper naming convention for that. Okay. So I can just write it as PDF file or something which will be means what to say, which will be easy to understand and can be relatable. We should not name it as like pen paper like that, means nothing unrelatable, it has to be relatable. Okay. So for now, if I'm using PDF file, okay, and there is a syntax, you have to remember that. Okay. So what that syntax is: directory dot get files. So what does this mean? I'm just explaining you what is directory and what is get files. So here, if you understand this, directory is a kind of function. Okay. Means it is a kind of object, it is a kind of class, directory class. Directory means you can access a folder. Okay, in VB.NET,
Mm-hmm.
directory means folder. Okay, directory
Mm-hmm.
is a class, and this class
Mm-hmm.
is having a function, means predefined
Mm-hmm.
function. It is already defined. It is already been having, this directory is having lot many of functions. If you can, in
Mm-hmm.
your idle time, you can just understand what these functions are all about. You can do some
Mm-hmm.
manipulation there, but for now, I am
Mm-hmm.
just using .get files. Okay,
Okay.
so why does get file is, it is instructing the robot is instructing, hey, whatever file you are having in that particular directory, just give me that. Okay, so directory dot get
Mm-hmm.
files, easy. So now when
Mm-hmm.
I use this function symbol, that means it is
Mm-hmm.
going to access the address, the file path now. Okay, so anyway, you
Mm-hmm.
can give this file path. How you can give is, you can just do one thing. You can use another assign activity. Okay, just take another path, another file, another variable name as file path.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, it will work. Okay, so how I'm going to take is this entire file path I'm taking inside this variable. So I am giving a slash mark here. So what does it mean is, whatever file we're having here, just give me the access. So now this PDF file is having the code as directory.get files. And if I want to use this file path, whatever file that is present inside that file path, we can give the file path as the variable name. However, if you want to use the entire address inside here also, it is fine, but it is very important for you to give a variable name. Okay, so if I give it as file path, so whatever changes, suppose today you are having the file inside this path, but what will happen, like tomorrow I am having this file in another path. So if you give a
Mm-hmm.
variable name for that file path, you don't have to go and
Mm-hmm.
do any changes or take any confusion. Just you can ask any of your junior developer, just please go there. Can you just change the file path variable? So that person will
Mm-hmm.
go there and just change the file path variable. They don't have to go inside and face all the complications. Okay. So what is
Mm-hmm.
happening? So I have taken this file path variable. Now, so when I have taken this file path, what it is going to do? Whatever file that are present inside this folder, we have got the access. Okay. So for
Mm-hmm.
now,
Mm-hmm.
for example, I want to create a text file now. For a demo purpose, I'm showing you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So when I give this code, just can you just tell me a logic, Anish? Will it give me all the files or only the PDF files according to this code?
I think it should be PDF file only, no?
No, how? Have we told the bot that it will
No,
give
we
us PDF
haven't.
file?
We
Yes.
haven't told yet.
How we will
So we
tell
have
now?
to give the extension otherwise.
Correct, fine. So if when how we are going to give the extension is whatever the file path you have given, just give a comma, give another double quotation, and just here give star dot PDF. So what does this star means? Whatever be the name, star means it is a kind of wildcard selector.
Yeah, yeah, wildcard, yeah. Okay,
Yes,
okay.
star means whatever the file name, whatever may be the file name, just take it.
Mm-hmm.
Star dot PDF.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm not giving
Mm-hmm.
this, so bot is going to pick all the files, and which I don't want.
Right, right.
Another thing,
So we
if
want to pick only PDF file.
correct. If I want to pick only
Okay.
text file, so I will just give start.txt, only the file extension. But if you don't
Mm-hmm.
know what are the extension of the file, so there is
Mm-hmm.
another way to get the extension, get the file name. Okay, VB.NET have those code. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I will also tell you that. For now, let us go to data types now. You already know UiPath is having a lot of data types like string, integer, okay, double,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
data table, okay,
Data
least type,
table, right?
least type,
Boolean.
boolean. So we will be
Mm-hmm.
also discussing that. But for now,
Mm-hmm.
my topic of discussion is, so
Mm-hmm.
why there is a red arrow here? Please, can you just for a thought?
Whenever there is an error, I mean that it shows the red sign,
Huh.
and because we are not, there is no, it should be inside the quotation mark.
Yes, it is inside the quotation mark, but it is everything is fine. It is also inside the quotation. Oh, you mean to say that variable has to be there inside the quotation mark? No. If I would have given the address,
No,
then
I'm
it's
talking generally. I mean, I'm talking generally. I mean,
no,
whenever
no,
there is a red
no,
sign.
no. Don't assume
Okay,
anything, Anish. What we need to do, we need
okay,
to hover over here. What is the
okay.
issue that is coming? It is telling that cannot assign system.string array. This symbol, that that is not a moon bracket, it is a square bracket. Square bracket means array. In wherever,
Mm-hmm.
if you read C, if you read C++, if you read VB, C sharp, square bracket means array. It is telling that you are
Mm-hmm.
taking an array variable inside a string variable, which is not done. So what I am not,
Mm-hmm.
what is an array? Array is a similar kind of data type. If see all the files inside this folder, okay, are similar kind of data type. They all are string variable. Means string variable means the file paths are string, right? So it
Mm-hmm.
is telling that you can only pick, if you wanted to pick only one file, would have been okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I am going to take with multiple file. Why? Because I am saying that directory dot get files. Whenever you are using
Mm-hmm.
dot get files, that means that
Mm-hmm.
variable has to be array. Array is a similar
Mm-hmm.
kind of data type. I just don't want to muck you. I'm just showing you the
Mm-hmm.
practical thing. I can provide you those documents. You can read while you are free. But for now, you have
Mm-hmm.
to understand which cases this is an array and which cases this is should be not an array. In this case, as
Mm-hmm.
because we are dealing with multiple files, because
Mm-hmm.
directory.get files, so I have to make this data type as string of array, array of string.
Mm-hmm.
So for now, the issue is gone.
Mm-hmm.
So now, if I want to access each of these, so how I'm going to access? Two ways. The first way, when
Mm-hmm.
I am using directory.get files, there is a loop. How a loop works in UiPath.
Mm-hmm. For
When I
each row.
for each row, correct. So for this, I have for each file in folder and for each. As because we have already taken .get files, that means it is already
Mm-hmm.
dealing with files. So it's better to use
Mm-hmm.
for each in this case. I will be telling
Mm-hmm.
you where we need to use this and where we need to use this. These two for each are different. This for each for handling the files. This for each for
Mm-hmm.
handling all the elements, whatever might be.
Okay.
It can be files, it can be string, it can be anything. So
Mm-hmm.
unanimously, I am using this. Okay. So now
Okay.
what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass this because inside this I'm going to read one by one file individually. So I need to use for each item. Item means each index. Okay. So each
Mm-hmm.
index, whatever the element that is present inside this folder, it is files. So each of the file,
Mm-hmm.
it is asking, hey, just show me a for each loop inside the file means just read
Mm-hmm.
one by one. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm going to do is I'm just using PDF files. As simple as that.
Mm-hmm.
So when I'm using one by one, how I'm going to read it? So let us, I have already told you there are lot many output showing activities. One of them is write line, one of them is log messages, another is message box. So it's better to use log messages, write line because these are the writing part in the output pane.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You can also use message box. So for now, I am using both of them just to simplify. When I use item, will it read? Item means what? What is the data type of item? This is the question that I'm going to ask you. What is the data type of item? For each is also dealing with data types, right? So
Mm-hmm.
here when I click on this info and here also when I click on item, will it work or will it not work?
I think it should work because no, it's not in it's a string item is in string form, no?
Correct. See, one minute, Anish. I want to try to
Mm.
tell you means most important thing which most of the developer they miss. When you
Mm-hmm.
do this for each, you have to change the data type of for each as well. When for
Mm-hmm.
each, the type argument here always it is an object type. You got my point?
Mm-hmm.
When it is an object type, it
Mm-hmm.
will throw you error. It will tell you, hey, what is the object type of this? But if you
Mm-hmm.
make it as a string type means each
Mm-hmm.
item. What is each item? It is an address. And what is an address? It is a string type. Sorry, I got a message from office. So it is a string type. So you have to make sure that means each of this item has to be the data type has to be string type. So if it is an integer type, then you have to make this for each loop as an integer type. You got my point? Hello?
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, I got it.
Okay. So now let us give a breakpoint.
Mm-hmm.
Why I'm giving a breakpoint is I want to test it. So now let's debug it and see what is the outcome.
Mm-hmm.
Before that, I need to close all these PDFs. Okay. If you can see this item, it is not throwing any error and it is giving us the file path. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So if I give another breakpoint, it is also giving the same. Write line is same, log message is same, but it is better to use always a log message because
Mm-hmm.
you are showing the proper format of everything. Okay. So this is
Mm-hmm.
giving the right file path for all the invoices. If I press continue, again it is going for invoice 2. So if you can see in this folder, we are having invoice 2. So if
Mm-hmm.
you are looking at it, it is only giving us the PDF files. It is not reading the text file. So
Mm-hmm.
it has read with the second text. Now let's press continue. Third one, now press continue. Fourth one, now press continue. Nothing, stopped. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
you must be thinking, hey, you have another folder inside here. What is that all about? It is also having a PDF. So
Mm-hmm.
if you have observed this, it has not read this PDF. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So how we are going to do
Mm-hmm.
that? means it can be a consequence, means it can be a occasion or a sometimes we can have multiple folders, sometimes we can have different folders, different PDFs inside the folder. So how UiPath is going to read all the PDFs? Okay, so there is another way that I have said you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say, what is that? We are having an activity for each file in folder. Okay, so I will bring out of this. Okay, so now let me minimize this so that you can see it clearly. Okay, let us see this for each file in folder. What this all about? If you can see the properties pane, it is just saying the current file. Okay, that means you don't have to give any item and you don't have to give that code like directory.get files that we have given here. If you give only the file path here, it is going to pick the PDFs. How? Let's see. Suppose in this folder, it is asking you the path, right? Here it is written path. So if you give this file path here, let me increase the scope. Okay, I have a question. When I come here,
Mm-hmm.
Anish, when I see,
Mm-hmm.
I have a variable as file path, right? When I
Mm-hmm.
come here and I want to give file path, why cannot I access that variable? Can you just tell me?
Because the scope is, I think we have not given the correct scope. We have to change the scope, I think.
How we can change it?
You
How
can go
can,
into the variable pane and you
okay,
can do it. Where
okay,
the scope is given, no? So we can
yes,
just change it.
great. So if I now try to access this variable, we can. Okay. So now if I want to read this, so can you just tell me from this properties, is it going to read all the file or it is going to read only the PDF file? How can I make this activity to read only the PDF file? So here we are
Just by,
having giving
yeah,
a filter. Here we are, you can see
yeah,
an option like filter. So here as
okay,
similarly, you can give the same star.pdf. And we
okay.
are having order by ascending, descending, created date, last.
Mm-hmm.
You can change accordingly. And you can do some homework here. Okay, so these activities are
Mm-hmm.
your homework must be, I could say, for each file in folder.
Mm-hmm.
So when
Mm-hmm.
I click on this include subfolder, okay. So now
Mm-hmm.
this is the time the bot is going to read the subfolder files also, okay. And that text file won't read until unless you don't give the option as .txt. It is not going to read that text file inside that folder. So now similar to this, we can also use a log message. But here the item is not going to work. So here what is the index that you have given is current file. Current file is for each current file means indexing. So I am just showing
Mm-hmm.
you how it works. So current file dot to string will give you the file path. And there is another thing
Mm-hmm.
as file index. So just copy this and I'm going to paste this, delete this current index. So what is this current index? It is another variable which comes automatically with this activity. It is an integer type. So to eradicate, I have given it as .toString. Okay. So sometimes this current file, it is always a string type. So it is better to use .toString also. So without .toString will also, it will work. Okay. But for safer side, I have used .toString. Okay. Now let's run this. I am commenting out. So there is a shortcut for comment out, you know, right? Control D. It is for commenting out. So both of the activities I am commenting out because they are not required now. So I'll just bring this inside this. Let it be.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's debug it.
Mm. Mhm.
Okay. So if you can see, it has got the file name where this invoice 5.2.pdf is present. If you can see here inside this folder, invoice 5.2 string.
Mhm.
So it is reading inside the folder. Now please continue. The
Mhm.
first one is done. Then it is invoice 4, where the invoice 4 is
Mm.
located. If you can see here, go back. It is invoice 4. So if you give is descending order, ascending order, I have changed to descending first. So it is reading from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It will read in that way. If you change into
Mm.
ascending order, it is going to read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Mhm.
So it is coming, all of them. If you can see, all of the
Mm.
5 files have been read, means taken. Okay. So now this is done. Do you have any doubt here in the properties pane or anything from current file?
No, it's okay, but I will just go through it in detail later on after the class.
Ascending first also you can just trying with ascending and
Yeah,
giving your
I will
run.
just repeat. Yeah, I mean that I have to go into details with the
Yes.
wider scope once
Yes,
the class is done. Yeah.
you have to go through all the properties, but in IT normally we work with ascending and descending. We don't have to face many of the scenarios. But if in case it is
Mhm.
like newest, suppose somebody will come, suppose you are creating a reading PDF and extracting so for your finance department or for your HR department. So they are going to say
Mhm.
that Anish, please bring the order according to newest first, then oldest, because we want the
Okay.
newest. So you can just do like
Mhm.
created date newest first. So accordingly, it is going to pick.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
whatever element you are going to extract from that PDF, keep that in an Excel. So these kind of scenario you are going to face. So it is coming
Okay.
according to newest and oldest. So likewise, you can do some homework there. It's done.
Okay.
Okay, so this activity is important. I'll send you an email by giving all the file name and where you can get all the documents, which is in an elaborative way. And also, I will give you some
Mhm.
workflow to design. Okay, so
Okay.
this is done. Okay,
Okay.
now let's comment out this. Comment in. Control E is commenting in. Control E.
Mhm.
Okay, I will just say, hey Anish, I want to open each of the PDF. Just show me by
Mhm.
opening each of the PDF how you're going to do that.